you know, as an agent, I wouldn't personally list a home with dead bugs if I had to go sweep it myself or, you know, get someone to come and remove them. But hey, you see all sorts of things in real estate. And this one is full of dead and living. Okay, hello everyone. All right, say it with me. TLC, tender, loving care, and home work. That's what's needed for this property, okay? So we're still in Marietta, still have a great location. Majority of the homes in this area, they've already done the work. This one needs your attention, your TLC, to bring it back to life, okay? So we're gonna overlook the multiple bugs. They're dead bugs. It hasn't been cleaned in a while. It's been sitting for a while. This is what I call a jewel. This is what you wanna find to get the value, get in the city you wanna get in, and you can do the work that others have done without paying that premium. Okay, so I'm standing here in this space. I was going to call it a dining room, but I don't know. I don't think this is a dining room. This would be more the sitting room. We actually have two spaces that you could choose. Okay, so this could be a sitting room, an office space. A lot of people are working from home now. This is perfect. We have two large windows here. Now, we'll say these are wooden windows, so when you get your inspection, you're gonna make sure that there are no termite damage or anything like that, because when windows have not been replaced, then you have to check for termites and things like that. But the lighting is great. The space is great. And that's all we're looking at today. We're not looking at the decor and the fancy things that we sometimes see in our videos. We're looking for a good value and a home that we can make our own, right? So great space. I am noticing though, there's no light. But typically when you don't have a light fixture, there are wires underneath, so you can have a cutout and add the light fixture if you like, or you can just simply use a lamp. Okay, so this is the living room. And this home was built in 1993, which I think homes were built so well back then, like the early 2000s, late 1990s. That was probably some of the most solid, best material built homes ever. Because now it's hit or miss. It depends on the builder, right? Back then, it was kind of the standard. So this is a solid home. And that's what you look for when you're trying to get something to make your own. But we have the cutouts here, which is a modern thing. You might not like the way it's designed, but it's there. So it's already done for you. I would just do a nice paint job and keep that moving. The fireplace with the red brick. I'm a red brick girl. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. I love red brick. My husband, not so much, but our home is red brick. I love it. And so to each his own on that, but you could always do what to it? Paint it white or another color or gray or what have you. So there are things you can do there. So they went with the agreeable gray. I'm sure if this home, since it was built in 1993, at some point they had to paint and they chose that agreeable gray. It's a very popular color when people are trying to kind of bring their home up to date. But like I said in another episode, a lot of homeowners, when they're doing it for themselves, they tend to go with white, which is now coming back in style. But great space. We're gonna go take a look at that space out there. I know you guys see that. That is kind of like a sunroom. So we'll take a look at that. This dining room is a good space. This one does have the light fixture. You know, I said you can use that space or this space, but this one already has the light fixture for you. You may not like it. You could always replace it. At least it already has the wiring in the hole there. We have two windows here. So again, lots of natural light coming in this space. And this is where your table would go. And then you would just enjoy this as an eating space. Okay. And you know, you guys might not like the trim work here, the chair railing. Those things can be easily taken out for a smooth, polished look. So is this a double oven? Let's see. Oh, good. So this has a double oven, which is a high-end feature. So even though you don't like the KitchenAid product, in which these seem to be brand new, actually. These are in good condition. They did replace this. You have the double oven, which is very, very awesome. Like I say, even if you change out the brand, you still have that space and the wiring there. And then we have an electric stove, in which I know some of you all like gas, but at least you don't have a gas bill. I always say that. So, you know, range would serve its purpose. We have the install microwave. Are these soft close? They are. Okay, nice. Let's check this. So they have the soft close. I would not replace these. Like, I know you all want to get in here with a sledgehammer and just go to work. I would not replace these cabinets. The only thing you could probably do is take them all the way up to the ceiling. That's kind of a high-end look, is to add that little section to where there's no gap at the top. So that's something you can do in your own home. If you're looking for a way to refresh your kitchen, you can just add that little insert at the top and it just gives it a completely different look, okay? So not bad. Now this granite is definitely, it seems original, 1993. This is kind of the type of granite that they would put into homes. I am not a fan of this style, but here's the thing. Do we replace granite just because of color? You know, or do we say, you know what, it's in great condition. I don't see many, you know, spots. It needs to be clean for sure. But do you replace something just because it needs to be replaced, or I'm sorry, if it doesn't need to be replaced, or just because you don't like it? So like style versus your budget. Sometimes you have to make those tough decisions. So we have the KitchenAid, washer or dishwasher. So no refrigerator. You have to get your own refrigerator. But if you call Tesharra Alexander, the Trusted Realtor, I'll try to negotiate a refrigerator for you. So there's that. We have this massive island that goes all the way around. And then you have the 2 sinks. Okay, so it's not a farm style sink, but it does have the 2 sections, in which I'm told that some people prefer that because you like your dirty dishes here, clean dishes there, dry them or what have you. So 2 sinks still work for a lot of people. This would be considered the breakfast nook, okay, where you could put a little table. I think maybe a high round table with maybe about 4 chairs. Great breakfast area. Now, because I just looked down at these floors, there's a lot to take in, guys, and there are bugs everywhere. I have clients sometimes when we're home shopping, they see a bug, they're like, next. They don't care how many bedrooms, they don't care how beautiful the windows are, they don't care. If they see dead bugs, so you know, as an agent, I wouldn't personally list a home with dead bugs if I had to go sweep it myself, or, you know, get someone to come and remove them. But hey, you see all sorts of things in real estate, and this one is full of dead and living bugs. Thank goodness I'm not nervous about that. My videographer's hanging in here with me. He's not afraid of them. So we're just gonna keep the tour going. They were here before we were, so we can ignore the bugs because they won't be here when you move in. How about that? We can get it clean before you move in. All right, let's take a look. These are ladybugs. You probably, I don't know if y'all can see the bugs, there are tons. This seems to have been an extension to the home. So we have a home built in 1993 and they added this sunroom onto it. Beautiful view, okay? There's a road in the back though. The value can be lost in a home if there's a busy highway and there's a lot of traffic back here. Some people don't care about it. Now, I must say you can't hear the traffic from here. So does that matter? Like, is it okay to have a road back there? Put that in the comments if you can't hear the traffic. Or do you just not want that public road behind your home? So great question. Answer that in the comment section and tell me how you feel, because sometimes you can get a great deal on a property that simply has something a little off about it like that. But if you can live with it, you know, you don't live out there, you live in the home. Could you ignore and bypass something like that? Or is it too much for you? Okay. But I love this space. You get more of the backyard, the greenery, and they have tried to do a good job of separating the highway from the view. So there is like a wooden fence there, so you're not just looking directly at the vehicles. It's not too bad. Honestly, I think I could live with it for sure. It doesn't bother me at all, but you know, I've seen it all. But nice addition to this particular property. And you could definitely, I don't think there's a HVAC system. I mean, a cooling system. Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, so it has the cooling and heating system. So this is definitely usable space. Because sometimes when they do the add-ons, they don't add, you know, the heating and cooling, and then you're like, well, what can I use this for? It's too hot in here or too cold, right? So that's not the case. So you have your half bath there, and then we have our washer and dryer area. Okay, so really nice area, lots of space. It's really big. So you can put your whatever, you know, your red, your blue, your designer washer and dryer here. Very nice. I would suggest doing something fun. You know, I'm really into wallpaper now. So I would suggest doing maybe an accent wall. You could even put a sink in here, some hanging racks. Just make this a fun place to be. Because who wants to do laundry? No one, right? So at least make it fun if you're going to be in there. Okay, now it's time to see the second level. I know you all want to see the bedroom, see how big they are and what you can possibly do. So let's take a look. So here we have our first bedroom, which is pretty standard. Bedroom number 1, bedroom number 2, pretty much the same size, okay? And then we have a full bath here with a shower, just the 1 sink, but there is a little vanity area. That's really nice. Here, more storage. Let's check this one out. So this is bedroom number 3. This is one of the bedrooms, and look how big it is. I love bedrooms that offer this extra little cutout, because then you could put a sitting area over there, a chair, study area if this is a room for your child. And I love it. Now you all see the fan, right? It's going. So that needs to be secured and probably replaced. Again, this one needs TLC. Sometimes you'll hear me use the term renovate or gut. Okay, this one just needs a good sweeping, a fresh paint job, replace a few appliances and light fixtures, and you can move right in. You don't have to do anything too high end. Stay here for a few years, and then maybe you do want to put the high end finishes in that we've seen in some of the other homes. But again, you have options. You have options. So I love this home. I think it has great bones, and I'm only going to show you products that I feel have potential. Right? If it's something that I know has the wood, the subfloors, all that is messed up, the system, we're not going to look for that, okay? That's not the type of homework I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on things where you can put value into it, put money into it, and get value out of it, okay? This is one of those properties, all right? Okay, so we're gonna check out the primary suite. I know you all have been waiting on that. So again, we're talking about 3,200 square feet, Marietta, Georgia, great school system, all the things. Tell me if you see the potential in this home, and what things would you do differently to make it livable for you. But again, great bones, and I'm glad we came here to do homework on this one. So now we are in the primary suite. You have the shutters. I'm not a fan of these. I think those would definitely have to come down. If anyone loves them, please put a heart in the comments for shutters and say love the shutters or whatever, because I don't get it. But they're here. They can be removed. Not a big deal. Great space, which is what I look for. Really, really big space. And then we have the kind of vaulted ceiling in a square shape. That's really nice. I love when they do something other than just a square shape. I really like this ensuite as well. Okay. You have the separate shower, and then you have the 2 sinks, which is to be expected. The closet is here. I'm not going to take you into the closet, but it's a pretty good size. It goes this way and then back that way. It does need some work though. I think it should be gutted and then do something custom that fits the shape of this particular space. But overall, not bad. I truly do think that this is a great property. So I hope you like it as well. Okay, so that wraps up our TLC edition. So this was a fun tour, you all, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you have not subscribed yet, don't miss out on our future properties. We have some great things lined up to show you, and make sure you hit the like button and show your support. We really appreciate that. So we will see you next time on Homework with Tesharra.